Welcome back, guys. This is third part in our singleton design pattern. We are in the previous version we were writing thread safe singleton pattern. We were using we created this class called singleton with the synchronization right here. Um, so very first thing we did, we remember, like in Java we have two ways to synchronize our method. Either we can use a synchronize, a struct, a keyword here in our method, and then this whole section of the method becomes synchronized. But this is not really good approach, so that's why I'm not. I just want to show you two ways to do it, but I would recommend to use the second approach, this one right here. So that's why I just renamed this as a get instant first method. The second approach, to use the second approach, so basically a very first thing we can do, we're going to get rid of synchronize keyword from here, method signature, and then we're going to use the synchronize keyword inside the method body here. And very first thing, we need to create our key. We need to synchronize on certain object, certain property of this class here. So we have this private static variable called underscore key. We just initialize the key as an object, a data type object, all right? And then we're going to say, all right, I want you to synchronize on this one. And just like before, one synchronization meaning like a thread comes in to make sure the other thread is not running. It has the exclusive key. Once it has the key, it comes in here inside this section and check whether the instance is already initialized or not. If it is not initialized, it just initialize this one and return. All right. So that is the second approach of creating a thread safe singleton method. Of course, even this one is not. This one is also, of course, our goal is to make it better on each iteration of this class. So even this one has some extra work. I'll show you. Just to illustrate that, I'm going to go ahead and debug this. Let's go ahead and test this method. Okay. To test it, I have created a little test class here called Singleton with synchronization test. So here I'm just creating a little loop here. So basically I'm spinning a thread. I'm basically running 20 threads here, creating 20 threads. The thread is anonymous, that's why I have a new thread. Inside the run method, as you know, when as you know from Java, you create a thread, you have a two option, either to implement the interface called iRunnable or use the abstract class thread, right? So here, instead of doing that, I'm just creating new anonymous thread. And you need to provide the run method inside the thread, and eventually once thread is all spun up, you go ahead and start the thread. Okay, in the run method, basically we're going to create this synchronization object, and as you know, we're going to ask for get instance. This guy going to give you the instance of it. Okay, so now, and then just to make sure which thread is running, I'm just printing the name of the currently running thread. And the last thing, I want to see the message. Which thread is printing the message right here? Okay, so let's go ahead and debug this piece of code. Especially, I'm interested in the how it behaves in the first iteration versus second iteration. So I have already breakpoint here. So I'm going to, if I go ahead and debug this piece of code, let's notice how does it behave. All right, I'm going to go into F6 here. As you can see, this is the first thread trying to create. So basically, it exclusively got the key. Once it obtained the key on line number 24, comes into 25 and checks whether this instance is already initialized. In this case, it is not been initialized. It is null. As you can see, it comes in here and initialize it. Okay. Once that is done, it basically returns that instance here. Once instance comes out, we just basically write down the thread in message and write the grid message from here. Okay, that is our thread number 0, first thread. Now, if I run this again, see, it comes into synchronization, but however, it's not going to come into, not going to go inside of it because our object is already initialized. It's already going to use the same thread here. So basically, it's going to, and as you know, the thread, we don't know the order of the threading. For example, thread 0 run and after the right away thread 18. So even though they are inside the loop, but the order of the thread, which thread runs first, is unpredictable, right? So, all right, it finished writing those. All those thread ran and they wrote the message. But however, even with this approach, there is one more. We can improve this one. We can make it a little better. So, all right. So what we can do here, let's get out of debug mode, and let's write the third version, which is this version. It's going to be a singleton with a double check-in. You will see the benefit of this one. So the reason is that once the first thread is run, when the second thread comes in, it doesn't really have to check for the synchronization again because that is extra work a thread has to do. So we're gonna improve that one. Let's see. There is this new class called Singleton with a double check-in here. This one is a little better than previous version. Let's see how we can improve this one. Okay, so here in this method, before we do a synchronization here, the synchronization is only relevant if it is our object is null. So we're gonna check if basically this guy right here. That's what it called the double checking, you know. So that in this, finish it up, and let's format our code. All right. So very first thing when we always going to check here if it is null, this synchronization right away we're going to check for the hey, do we have the key? Do we have the, if I also have the key, then I will go into this critical section and do whatever needs to be done. But however, if this guy is not null, why even bother to check for the key? I just have an instance of object right away. So before, in the previous version of the code, we had every thread. I mean, was using this. That's really extra work. So why would even bother with this one? So if we have this null right here, and once starting from the second iteration, this is not null anymore. In the subsequent request, this just comes in here and it starts using that. So anyway, so this way we can basically customize it. We can make our code very robust. Okay, this is the third version. So we're gonna write one more version of the Singleton. That would be, we'll be talking that into the next video's tutorial. So thank you so much guys for watching these videos, and I will be recording next version soon. Thank you so much.